How we doing today, every motherfucking body? Make some noise!
Awesome.
Yes.
I love it. Now that Juliana's used to me after 4 podcasts, she actually responds. Before she, ooh, who you want to make noise? But you know, the best part about Suitman Productions is we always keep it rolling. Sometimes you've got to roll with the punches and switch it up. Our guest for this month was supposed to be Red Angel. We were going to talk to her about being blind and what it's like being blind and dating. But instead, we have a totally different topic. We have comedian Juliana Heng. Make some noise.
Hi, everyone.
They are not
Hello.
binary comedian out of Malaysia dating, and they are artistic. And so this is going to be interesting because we get a total different perspective. Perspective. I don't fucking know. I can't talk this morning. Anyways, give it up for the more than a handful, but not quite a jug. Give it up for Variety B Cup. I mean D.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone. God. My size.
Hey, what would you call them? A saggy C, right? They're long.
You could knock somebody out with those.
Long. Is that uppercase C?
It's
My
a
wife.
lethal D.
I said wife. My girlfriend is not approving right now. She's like, what do you say about these then? I say they're beautiful. Those are the freckled varieties, right? Stop laughing, D. You're not helping me. I'm gonna get in some trouble. Give it up for Bondage Bear and the Potato Chip Enthusiast! Bondage Bear is a he or a she, but they've got nipples, right? Either way, they've got nipples. We're just saying. I played a nipple video game in Portland yesterday. That was all.
What?
Well, that's a totally different conversation. We'll get to that later.
You better not forget.
I better not forget. Why? You're like, that sounds interesting. That definitely sounds interesting. I need to know about that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
The best part is my girlfriend asked me to play it, so I wasn't the pervert. It was wasn't like I was jacking off with a pocket full of quarters. I mean, I wasn't, and I did have a pocket full of quarters, but it was her idea. It was her idea. And last but not least, give it up for me, the host of the.
Suitman.
How y'all been? Make some noise. And hold on, before we got to be serious because we know not everybody knows. Unfortunately, Polite Kitty Audra is not here today. We had some horrible news before today. We were at like the final check-in. Mom wasn't eating. Mom was like, "Fuck you guys. I'm as old as I want. I've lived as long as I want. You can kiss my ass."
Oh, no.
Yesterday, Mom got a liver, everybody! You get a lover. You get a lover. You get a lover.
That's right. Yes.
That's right. Yes, right. So, unfortunately, but fortunately, I think this is a good reason to be out that your mother is healing. Polite Kitty's not here today. Audra's out, but her mom is healing. She's got her liver, and she gets to hug her mom one more time. And if I could do that, trust me, I would give anything to do that. So, I'm gonna call her Peanut Butter because guess what? I'm Jelly.
Yes.
Ooh, I know. But anyways, we like to always start with our roundtable talk. So today I'm going to have you three ladies, whatever, however you want to say it. How do we feel about the hottest topic in dating right now and in America and basically in any movie in the world? How do you feel about Will Smith slapping the taste out of Christmas? Who wants to go first?
I want to hear your guys' thoughts first.
Ooh.
Let's
I'll
go
let
with
you.
Juliana.
Yes.
Sure. For me, it's like I mean, violence is never the answer, and I mean, I can clearly see those video footage where he laughed at Chris Rock's joke. You know, it's only when he saw the eye roll by Jada Pinkett, and that's when he's like, "Oh no, I need to please her," before she went up there to punch him, to actually slap him. So I'm like, wow. I mean, dude, have a backbone, you know. Yeah, if it's funny, it's funny, you know. Yeah.
Damn, I heard what you said. She's like, if you're gonna laugh at it, don't slap him. Don't be no pussy. Okay.
Yep.
What do you got, Variety D?
Well, yeah. So I was discussing this yesterday to another network in New York. And yeah, basically, Will, yes, he laughs things off for many years. That's the only way he covers his emotions, whilst his wife doesn't. And you got to remember, his wife has a track record of being the let me see, I want to say it's nicely, side hustle. She's been hustling since young. Remember, she used to be a Tupac, God rest his soul.
A side hustler, a side chick. What are we saying here? She's a little.
No. She's no side chick. She's a side hustler, and now she's becoming like the side mafia. She calls the shots right now with her eyes, not her head. But what I'm saying is, yeah, she there's a history between the Rocks and the Smiths. That's what I'm saying, for a good 20, 30 years. So they're not strangers. It's not they don't know each other. And Chris Rock, he basically stirred the pot since what, 2016, when he was at the Oscars. Said Oscars so white, and then he was trying to make out of Jada in the 90s as well. I don't think it was Source Awards, it was somewhere else. He did. So there's a history to it, of this notion. And I think Willard, his real name there, could not take that no more, especially in the Oscars. However, because I watch the Oscars every year in hours of 11 p.m. till 4 a.m. UK time. I'm so glad during the commercial break, as we call advertisement, you have Denzel Washington, Bradley Cooper, Tyler Perry, Samuel Jackson, making sure Will Smith was okay mentally. Mentally okay. I don't think much people checked on Jada because she looked like she was all right. Christopher Rock had to be backstage, and he didn't cry. He was just, I think, still in shock. And like I said earlier before we're on air, I didn't know Chris Rock has this thing which sounds like a gang, NVLD, which stands for non-verbal learning disorder. I did not know that. I thought that was like a character in his actual series. Everybody Hates Chris. Now, I don't hate Chris. I don't hate Will, but I hate what happened. But we can't change that. So what I think is, them two needs to either do a charity boxing match at the MGM boxing arena and raise some money for people who have alopecia, and another charity, probably for disabilities, probably for people who are dating who are disabled. Give them some money, because these restaurants cost a lot of money, you know. So yeah, do something. Just literally have a solution rather than feeding the fuel, the fire, because these are two legends. One comedian, one actor. Well, they're both actors now, but one used to be a rapper who don't swear. So the fuel, the fire, because I'm not echoing, but yeah, that's what I can really think of, is about the solution rather than the problem that happened last week.
Perfect. What do you got, Janejira? I know we talked about this earlier. We didn't get too far into it, but go ahead.
My mind just blanked because that's a good point. Well, I think when people talk about like the clips of him laughing and stuff, people kind of forget that there's a difference between like a genuine that was funny laugh and I'm uncomfortable but I'm obligated to laugh because all the eyes are on me and I don't know what to do laugh. They're not the same. So just because he laughed doesn't mean he was like, oh yeah, that joke was great. It could have been like, I'm in the public eye, but I cannot react honestly to this situation right now. And like, I don't know if like male people know this, but that's just like a normal thing for women all the time, always, just around people. That's like what I had to deal with all the time, because like when I'm like around people that are like kind of misogynistic and stuff, and then they make jokes and stuff, I don't have the energy to fight. I don't want to like start something and be like, hey, I'm going to call you out right now. It's just like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm just going to go with it and be like, haha, I'm uncomfortable, but I just have to deal with it. So yeah, that could have been like part of Jada's reaction, but no, we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to focus on the hitting part.
See, I have to be honest. Enough you guys know me in real life. I might slap a motherfucker. I know, punk bitch. I'm pretty sure. And then not only that, but we had a roast battle with a racist white comedian in Seattle and a borderline racist white comedian who likes to do racially charged jokes, and a black comedian. He punched a dude, sucker punched him on stage, and then it turned into this whole racial war on the Seattle comedy scene. Like now, all black comics were violent and we're all mean and crazy, and should we? Do you support the black guy beating up the white guy? Because if we do, we shouldn't book you too. And it was like, no, I don't support white people making racist jokes. I don't support anybody getting hit on stage. But I do understand as a man, I'm a black man before I'm a comic. And Will Smith is a husband and a protector and a provider and a man before he is an actor named Will Smith. And between being embarrassed possibly by some of the things he's been through with an entanglement, being this not being the first time he's ever, because in 2015, this was the cold one. I didn't talk about this earlier. My girl and I were hanging out with her friend Evan in Portland yesterday, and we talked about the original diss that Chris Rock did was in 2015 on Jada. Was like, I don't even know why you're here. You do a TV show. These are movie awards. Like a total diss to a black, like you just have a fucking talk show. You're not a real entertainer, bitch, right? And Jada's, oh, that's how you feel, right? And then the idea that a black man gets on a platform to tear down a black woman. Like he didn't have to call her G.I. Jane. Do you know how much more, just as funny that she's balding and black, but would have been powerful if he said, I think she's trying out for that new Black Panther 2 movie. Wakanda forever.
Yeah, Wakanda. Thank you.
That would have been better.
Yeah, a lot better because no one really knows about G.I. Jane. I just about know. I'm born in 1991. Not like legit. Nobody in my area in South London actually knows about G.I. Jane, played by Bruce Willis's, bless him, what he's going through right now. His ex-wife playing G.I. Jane.
There is one other thing that Bruce Willis, Will Smith, Demi Moore, and Jada Pinkett all have in common. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I can't say it. Say it for us. Go on.
Because I'm a pretty smart comedian. I know Variety D's pretty smart comedian. I even know Juliana when she wants to be as a pretty smart comedian. Because I love how she likes, if you're not laughing at my jokes, maybe you'll laugh later. Maybe you're autistic. And they go, no, I'll laugh now. I'm not autistic. I want to laugh now. But there's a second layer to both of these relationships were ended or spiced up by a young man screwing the successful man's wife. We all remember Ashton Kutcher, right?
Yep.
And he was there.
Oh, he was there?
He was there, yeah, because remember him and not Miley Cyrus. What's his Mrs. name called now? From that semi show.
Oh, Mila
Kunis.
Yeah.
Thank you. She looks stunning. So she was there with Ashton Kutcher. He looked good in this suit. They were there.
Everybody was there.
If only Bruce Willis was there and Demi Moore, that would have been because you'll see the Italian table as well. So you see, because remember it's the 50th anniversary of Godfather. They'll be having a little look like going, and then all the black people they're going, and you see some white people going, okay, all right. You see what I'm saying? So we'll have that conversation because remember it's an industry realm, or you can call it a circle. You know, it's their. It's their circles, it's their box. So normal people, or I say kind of normal because we're superstars as well, but just not that level yet. And people who are not in the industry will not see it that way. So like you said about the layers, Suitman, you are right on the money. You're bang on the money right there.
Did I get a kudos? Where's her fucking sound effects lady?
Yes, you did. Yes.
I got a kudos today. That doesn't fucking happen often. We gotta celebrate those.
On this historic episode.
You son of a bitch, don't you dare. On this historic episode, we all agree Duante may be right today, okay? Just today, not again, not next week. This time, maybe. And I'm not even sure if we want to say for sure or not. I'm just gonna go with maybe, okay? I'm just gonna go with maybe. Right? And I think that's the other part that we all don't think about is it. And I brought that up to my friend 2 nights ago, or not 2 nights ago, but on Monday when I was Tuesday when I was driving home from California in the middle of the night. I talked to him and I said that, and he was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "I'm a pretty," and a lot of people, do you think, Chris? Motherfucker, I write jokes that have 3 to 4 different meanings, and I'm only 3 or 4 years in. And I'm not the fucking messiah of comedy. So you don't think Chris Rock thought about that idea, right? Like, come on. I mean, And even if Chris Rock didn't write the joke, you don't think he could have thought of it or paired it together, or there's nobody reading through your shit? Like, come on. I don't know. All right. Well, we got it going. We're ready to go. It seems like everybody's got their juices flowing. We've got everything going today. So our guest today is Juliana Heng. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Juliana.
Yeah. I'm surprised that I'm cheering for myself at 3:21 a.m. Hi everyone. I'm Juliana Heng from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I'm also an autistic stand-up comedian. Yes.
Okay. And how do you identify? What's your? I know that's
I'm non-binary.
Non-binary, and I'm not good at this shit, so I'm gonna play stupid. I'm just gonna ask the questions. What does that mean?
Oh, it means that I don't identify with either end of the gender spectrum. Yes, which is like female and male, and I don't identify with either, so I'm considered non-binary. Yeah.
Okay. And what side? Can I ask what side of the spectrum you were born on?
Female.
Female. And then do you date now? Does that affect your dating, or do you care which side? Have you started dating? I'm an idiot.
No, don't worry about that. I actually dated once when I pretended to be a straight woman. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. And then the second time I dated is when I'm already out. Yeah. So, but the only common thing is I ended up with trash bags lah.
With what?
The trash bags. Say, yeah, if that doesn't change, Yeah.
That doesn't change.
Right.
There's still shitty dates either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let me ask you, so when you were straight when you dated a guy, the last time you dated, were you dating a guy? Were you dating a woman? Does that? I mean, I'm trying to be as respect. Janejira knows I'm not good at this shit, right? I don't know the answers to this, so I'm trying to understand. If you're non-binary and you date somebody, you're not identifying as female or male. So, do you have to date female or male? Are you? Does that considered straight? How does that work, man?
Okay, no, I mean, I will say that it doesn't really matter for me. It's like so far the two trash bags are actually men.
The two trash bags you had. Oh fuck! She said they're trash bags when I was straight. Now that I'm non-binary, they're still trash bags.
Yeah. So it doesn't make a difference. But the thing is, it depends, because if let's say I were to be with a man in Malaysia, it's considered. Let's say I were to marry a man, it's still considered a legal marriage, because Malaysian don't give a rat's ass about queer people. So to me, it's like when they see your IC or your identification, or you are female, then when you're married to a man, okay, technically this is a legal marriage. Yeah, it's only when I date women, and if I want to get married to a woman, then that's when it cannot happen. Yeah, because queer marriage is still illegal in Malaysia. Yeah.
Not fair. Gotta change.
Yep. But Malaysia is a Muslim country, so it's a bit hard lah. It's a bit hard to. Yeah, they are still having even don't say the Muslim lah. I think even other religions in Malaysia, they are not into it, this queer thing. Yeah. So to them it's you are not into this queer shit, yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Did you just say that? Juliana said, yeah, we're not into this queer shit. All right. You guys straighten up your act. I mean, Janejira, you guys are from similar regions. I know you're not from there, but you guys are from
Thailand. Represent.
Yeah, I know.
That's
nearby.
And I'm not trying to be racist for once. I'm just like, you guys are like neighboring countries. So with you being more Americanized, and I know you're non-binary as well, how does this feel? I mean, you guys got the same background, same family, but you're in America where it's okay, and she's there. Sorry, they're not. So you're getting better. What's your
well done.
Yeah. It's hard because like when it comes to other cultures, I just have to know that like, hey, this is not America. So if I'm for any magical reason in another country, I have to remember sometimes it's safe to be myself. Sometimes it's really, really not. But like, I mean, that's also just not that different than being like in/out of the closet. Because when you're hella gay and you live in a super homophobic region, you gotta protect yourself and be like, okay, you gotta keep it a secret real quick. I mean, it makes me really happy and like blessed that in America it's more accepting. Like we literally have rainbow sidewalks in this like
Nice.
downtown a little bit. But it also breaks my heart that like my people back on the other side of the ocean, they don't. It's frustrating for with Thailand because when I was like in high school and stuff, the only thing people understood about Thailand was, oh, there's what was it like shemales in The Hangover? Is that representation? And I was like, you
Oh, shit.
guys,
Yeah.
there's more than that. Also, somehow we don't have trans rights. It's like, how are we known for having people possibly with both parts, but being trans isn't allowed and okay? You
That is
can't have
so
those two things
weird.
at the same time. Make it make sense. And then like trans marriages and stuff. Last time I talked to mom about it, that's like not illegal. She was like showing me a thing and she was like, do you see anything wrong with this? And I was like, that's two people getting married. You're gonna have to walk me through this. I can't get the hints. And she's like, that one used to be a man, but now it's a woman, and that one a woman used to be a man. And I'm like, there and she's like, you don't see anything wrong with that? And I'm like, are they gonna get married? Like what's the deal? And she's like, no, they can't get married. And I'm like, well, that's the problem. They can't get married. What the fuck?
I love the way Juliana's like, you got a shitty Asian accent. I saw the way she was looking at you. Like, we don't sound like that. I don't think your mom appreciates that accent either. The funny part for me is her mom's a little racist. I'm just gonna let you know, Juliana. I went by to drop off stickers and shit. She's like, I'm not answering the door. There's some big black guy at the door, though. I'm not answering.
Oh.
She's big black guy at door. I know answer. That's Duante. Mom, answer the fucking door.
He's harmless. Don't worry about him, man.
He's not racist. You're a big
He's
man.
39% black. That don't even count, right?
No, I think this is similar to what is happening in Malaysia as well. You know, like where we talk about, because Malaysia has three major races, which is Chinese, Indian, and Malay. I'm of Chinese descent, so we are the so-called white people in Malaysia. Yeah, but we are not privileged. We don't have the privilege because that belongs to the Malays, which are light brown. You know, and finally, when it comes to the Indian, they are dark brown. So that's when parents always say, I mean, our Chinese parents will always say, oh no, Indian bad, you know, they will have all these negative things. So when we were younger growing up, we cannot have Indian friends, you know, but funnily, most of my friends who helped me out in my tough times are Indian friends, you know, are all my Indian friends. So that's why I feel like, oh, this is weird, you know, like to them it's like, oh, okay, if you're not our people, then they shouldn't be our friends, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So Malaysia is also equally weird. Although we try to say, yeah, we are multiracial, we are multicultural, we are very colorful, you know, but these are all just facades, you know, they are not real. Like, you know, like on posters, it look nice, you know, but behind the poster, no, you know, it's like.
She's like, on the poster, everybody's welcome to the show, right?
Yeah.
When you get backstage, they call Dante a
No.
nigga. I heard it. They called him the N-word, but
Yes,
it's okay.
yes.
He's on the
Happening,
poster, though.
happening everywhere. Yeah.
Are you over there? You okay for IDD? You almost pissed your pants, huh?
Hey, Dante. Hey, listen, I got a big pad on here. I'm fine. I'm dry. Thank God.
You got a pad on.
What I'm saying, what Juliana just said there, that affects the black community. I mean, a little bit right now, but in the US and the UK, remember the paper bag rule in our grandmother's times, our grandparents.
Oh, God. If you were
That's what Juliana's literally defining what's happening in 2022 now, but 1920. If that.
I also thought it was funny to hear that Asians or Chinese people are white people in Malaysia.
Yeah,
yeah, but without the privilege, without the privilege,
without the privilege, right?
I like that bit.
Privilege is with the Malay.
I like that bit. But you see the thing. So it's like they still go, and the thing is, it's not just in Malaysia. Also, the Caribbean has that same mindset too. The lighter, where's the map? No, so my mum's side of the family are Guyanese, so they do have that lighter. The more higher job you get, the manager, you know, you become the general and that kind of stuff. Whilst the darker, you become the janitor, the bin man or woman or something like that, they basically treat you like the bottom of the barrel.
And I mean, you know
Yeah.
that anyways. It's the same thing in Canada, India, UK with the East Indians. And I hate calling them East
Yeah.
Indians. They're not fucking Indians. They're the only Indians. The other ones are tribal Americans. They're not Indians. Anyways, but I digress, right?
Excuse me, I'm West Indian. I beg your pardon. I'm, you know.
You are not an Indian. You are a West tribal person. There were no
West
Indians
Indies.
in the Caribbean. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fucking Columbus named it the Indies. Okay? Before 1492 wasn't the West Indies. So why are we
I'll
calling
give you
it that?
more kudos, yeah.
I don't fucking
You're
get
fighting
it.
for
I
these
don't,
kudos, isn't it?
is that your colonizer race? That's your colonizer race is West Indian? Fuck.
You got to
Shit.
remember, Guyana is in South America, though.
That's still that's French. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Dante.
Je m'appelle.
Wow.
Je suis da Guyana. See?
That's French Guyana. See, I'm
See?
British Guyana. I'm British Guyanese.
Where in the fuck are we going with this? I had a point. God damn it.
You're
Variety,
disabled.
D.
Sure.
You son of a bitch. I remember what it was. Is there's the same colorism in India, Canada, and the
Yeah,
UK
that's
when
right.
it comes to Indians? That when
Yep.
you're dark Indian or Bangladesh,
The
right?
caste system.
Right?
Class. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing with Fijians and Antilleans. There's Fijians that look like black people. And then Fijians that look like Jane and Juliana. And I don't know. Right? And they come every shade in between. That's the one that fucked me up when I met a black looking guy and he said, "No, I'm from Fiji. I'm black. I'm Asian." I said, "What?"
It's called a Blasian.
No, he's not. There's no black in him. He's
Yeah, Blasian. So
Jamaica.
cool.
Blasian.
I love how Juliana's autism kicked in. She said, "Blasian's pretty cool. That's I like that. Let's say that." Well, let me, you said you've been on 2 dates. You've dated 2 people, right,
Yep.
Juliana? Did you disclose to them you were autistic when you dated them, or did they already know?
Okay. This is a funny situation because I only come to know about autism when I'm 28 years old or 29. I cannot remember which year. It's quite late actually. So I think it's 29. Yeah. So when I date the first person is actually on the spectrum. Yeah, which that time I don't quite know that I'm on the spectrum, but he told me, oh, I'm on the spectrum, and he pretty nerds things out lah. I mean, and he's the type of person who is like, okay lah. I mean, I will say that being on the spectrum does not make you an asshole. This is the disclaimer ahead. Yeah.
Him being on the spectrum wasn't why he was an
Yes.
asshole. That was a choice. Okay.
Yes. Yes. It's like he is like this guy who is like, he's always talking about money, you know, like he's like, oh, you know, he's from Singapore. Okay. That's why I always make fun of Singapore. Yeah. So Singapore is actually the rich Malaysia, you know, that kind of stuff. We are the one where we are quite broke. And actually we can compare like USA and Canada, you know, they are the Canada because they have healthcare, you know, those kind of stuff. And Malaysia is the poor one lah. So I went down there, dated him and all, but the thing is, turns out that at the end, because he's so boring, that and our relationship wasn't anything special. It's like he bring people on dates with him, you know, together on our dates. And I'm glad he did that because they are much more interesting to talk to, you know.
That time my date was so boring. He had to bring
It's
someone else to
so
spice
boring,
it up.
and I'm so happy. And then both of them are actually, one of them is a lesbian, another is a straight woman. So I'm like, thank God you bring both of them because if not, I'll be bored to death with you. He's always talking about money all the time, and he's okay, like I get it. He's filthy rich because he's an insurance guy. So he even have branches in like not only Singapore, even in Myanmar, Burma, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So he's that rich. It's just that from what I know, it's like he's just looking for a trophy wife to be with him, you know, because he's like his younger brother got married ahead of him and he felt left out, lah, put it this way. Yeah.
Wow.
So he's trying to find me. And after that, also like he runs MLM, like network marketing. For me, it's okay, I get that and all, because that time I happened to be in network marketing as well, but a different company. So he tried to poach me into his company. That I get. But then when I say like 2 months after we date, I mean, virtually lah, like just on WhatsApp and all, I'm just tired lah. I just get bored. He's always talking, okay, have you bring people to see my upline, those kind of conversation.
You
Yeah.
weren't, hold on. You weren't in a date. He was your
No.
manager. That's what it was.
Yes.
He was trying
So
to.
See, again,
yeah,
hustle.
that is the conversation we have. So we are like, what on earth, man? And I just told him that, hey, dude, I'm
Sign
done.
anybody up this
Uh,
week, Juliana? I guess you don't love me.
Yes, you're
You're
right.
supposed
That's
to
the
add 2
conversation we
new
had.
members a week if you love me. This
Oh my
relationship's not
God.
working for me, baby. I'm sorry.
Horrible.
How are we supposed to get to the top?
How are we
Yes.
supposed to get to the top if you
Yeah.
don't believe in me? Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
So at the end, after I kind of dump him, I make the move first by dumping him.
Thank goodness.
And the thing is, he's pretty cool about it. He said, "Oh, Juliana, it's fine. After that, as long as you still bring people to see my upline, we are cool." I was like,
What
what?
a loser.
Yeah.
I know you're dumping me, but I just want to
Yeah.
make sure.
Yeah.
I'm still going to get a couple referrals from you, though,
Yes.
right? You're still-
Business as usual. Yeah. And at the end on Christmas Day, he actually sent me the annual report of his company. I was
How
like,
romantic.
ew, so romantic, like
Yeah.
what on earth, man.
Ho, ho, ho. My line.
I recruited one person this year. Woohoo.
So I was like, okay lah, that's the first one lah. He's on the spectrum and all, but then that's all lah. And the second one turns out that he is a sociopath. Yeah.
sociopath.
So and he claims
Why
that
do
he
you
has
say that?
ADHD, and yeah, but no, I heard all that from his exes. And he's actually a player, and but the thing is, this fella, he knows how to say the right words. He say, and lah, people like us, we are neurodiverse, we take things literally lah. That's the thing, So we really think that, he's going to take care of me at the end of the day. This is awesome. The kind of stuff. And then at the end, he dumped me. And then turns out that he even brought the girl to our comedy show, to my comedy show, because he's actually a fellow comic lah. Actually, I actually know him through.
Dun,
So
dun,
it's-
dun, dun,
He is a
dun.
comic.
Ooh,
So the
the
thing
twist.
is,
Yeah, there we
Twist.
go. What's up with the fucking sound effects? I
I
got
was
one
so interested in the
check that.
story.
at 7:30 this morning. That was it.
So yeah, so he was actually in the show with me. But the thing is, that time I was closing the show, and then I'm co-organizing that show with him because he is actually hated in the comedy scene of KL. Everybody hated him, but I really don't know what I see in him that time, So got him to curate a show with me, that kind of stuff. And then okay lah, I mean the show went well and all. And he said, "Oh, I have a +1 because we do give people the opportunity to bring a +1 to support the performers." And he brought that girl along, And
How dare
then,
he?
We're
But
gonna
the thing is,
throw
I
a
don't
show
know.
together.
I-
I love you. You were great.
yeah,
Do you mind if I
Yeah.
bring my date to the show though?
yeah, but I genuinely don't know
Son of a
that,
bitch.
that's how bad I am when it comes to social cues. So I don't know that until he dumped me. And the next week in another show, I happened to be there to support another friend, and he just said, "Okay, everyone, meet Allison. She's my new girlfriend." Da da da. And I was like, okay, so that has been happening before he even dumped me. That's why he's so open the next week when
Can I
he's
fuck him up?
performing.
Tell me.
Yeah.
who
I'll
his
give
name
that
is. I
Will
wanna
Smith
fuck him up.
slap.
Yeah,
Right
I mean, I could have given him that, but I think the first person who would have given that slap is my comedian friend, because she's the one who is like she really don't like him after she heard my story and all. Yeah, so I think I won't be the one giving the slap because I'll be too stumped, like still figuring shit out, and she will be the one going to slap, So looks like I'm the Jada Pinkett Smith in that situation.
Yeah.
You're the Jada Pinkett of Kuala Lumpur.
And I have the hair to match it, realization.
I
Yeah.
can't deal
But-
with it.
I got a question for all of us though.
Yes.
Yes.
So all of us are brilliant comedians. We have disabilities, but do any of you find it a pro or a con to date or be with another comedian, and why?
I'll go first. So
Go for it.
I tried to date a comedian. What was it? September of 2018 to so from like May to September for like 3 or 4 months. And a couple of problems. First one. You can't tell your other comedian friend how to do comedy. That doesn't go too well. right? I'm mad at the way Variety D laughed. She's like, yeah, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you got to say about my jokes. The second one is I was producing, right? And I noticed the only way this person was getting booked is because I was booking them because I dated them and I thought they were funny. Now, it's also because it's hard for black women to get booked out in Seattle anyways for some reason. I don't know why. But when we stopped dating, I did notice a decline in their schedule and I kind of felt bad. Even see, Jane does all my flyers and she's on the scene. She's like, yeah, he's got a point. She doesn't work as much anymore. And then the third one is I told her I didn't want to date no more because I felt like a comedy boyfriend. Next thing you know is, oh, I heard you got dumped by Felicia's. I didn't get dumped. I told her, who gives a fuck? You know what? I'm not getting in this, right? And so, like, even in Juliana's situation, the guy was already a trash bag, so I guess nobody cared, right? But if the guy wasn't a trash bag, now you have the whole scene pulling in and having questions and wanting to comment or be a part of or feel like they're, you know what I mean? And I just feel like it just doesn't work. You know, if you honestly, I'm probably gonna end up dating and marrying a comedian because I think my girlfriend should. Well, we got an all out of that, right? I got a little spit and a little look too. Yeah. Hey, holler. But she's funny and shit. She's just got to decide if she wants to be a comedian. I think she's gonna be a though. I think she's gonna have her on here one day talking sex positive. She's not dating with disabilities, she's dating somebody with disabilities. But it's one of those where it's I don't know, you know, it's you talk about movie actors, they don't usually work because who grosses more, who's, you know what I mean, who's relevant. I don't think competition is good for a relationship. And when you're comedians,
no, it's not.
There's going to be a level of competition, and then there's always going to be a level of competition put on you by those around you. Oh, so I noticed Denise is the only one who headlines shows when you're on shows together. So I guess she's carrying you. And then I'm like, no, I'm fucking Suitman. Fuck that bitch. I'm carrying her. And now I'm over here trying to defend my pride, and all Denise heard was "fuck that bitch." Oh, really? Okay, motherfucker. And I'm that is what is happening. So, yeah, that's my answer.
I guess it's a no.
Go ahead.
Shall I go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, do it. You were ready.
I've actually slept with a comedian many years ago. Well, it's now what, 2022 now, so 11 years ago. At the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. No, I didn't say I hadn't had sex for 11 years. Good God, I'd be a nun. But yeah, what I'm saying is 11 years ago. Yeah, it was at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and I was 19 years old. Yeah, I was 19 going on 20. Yeah. I remember I was roasting because I was sexually frustrated. When you're a teenager and you're horny, you're hungry, okay? So you need something. And this comedian looks so handsome. Don't want to say his name because, you know, he's doing very well as a comedy writer in South Africa. He's now married and has children now. But back in the good old days, yes, I was roasting. He gave me what I wanted, okay? Then that was the first night. The second night, we battle roasted each other, so comedy roasted, and I won. Ding, ding, ding. And then on the Saturday, I gave him Sunday roasts. So I made some dinner just to say I'm so sorry for hurting your feelings. And after that, we left, vamooshed. But I think nowadays that wouldn't really work because we have some things that have cameras on them. People are so damn nosy. I think back then Facebook was just about, you know, the niche and stuff, but just like kicking in, and I think Instagram wasn't around. So I was quite lucky being in that era of you can do what you got to do, but still do what you want to do, if that makes sense. Just as a black female comic in this country, and also talk about and stand your ground. But I mean, I think I couldn't see myself going with a comedian, even though in this country you have comedians and comedy actors who are married with each other for decades. There's Jennifer Saunders and I've forgotten his surname, Ade something. They've been together for years. They're best friends, Dawn French and Lenny Henry. They're both comedy actors and writers, but they're both divorced a few years ago. But they've been with each other for so many years and they have children. So it's like an old generation, like the baby bloomers and the generation X, Y, Z, whatever. I think this generation cannot do it. Well, most likely cannot do it. It's still possible, but most likely cannot do it in the world of comedy. And adding disability on top, it's very hard because I mean, I'm trying to think of there's a comedian here, Tim Renko. He's got cerebral palsy, and his lovely wife, called Miss Spring, if I remember. They're married. But I don't think they've both got disabilities, but they both do comedy and are comedy writers. But it's really tough though, this industry. And I can't think of any urban comedy couples in this country, black comics, who are together. I know they slept with each other, allegedly, okay. They've slept with each other and done some things, probably even an orgy, but I cannot think of any that who are together, solid like a unit. You know, just
Janejira, your turn. Didn't you
ready
date a
for
comic?
some spicy story times, you guys? Well, I met Dante through my ex that was a comedian, so that's how I got here.
Oh.
And now in my new relationship, I'm the comedian. So I got two different dynamics to look at it. So the first time I was with my comedian ex, I was like, well, you know, my relationship needs more laughter in it, so this is gonna be perfect. I thought we were gonna be out here laughing together and supporting each other, and it was gonna be great. Cause like I would go to all his shows and like save him some chicken and like help him film some other comedians' shows and stuff. And it was like really cute and wholesome. Like we could have been that amazing comedian couple, but the problem was his form of comedy was making fun of me. And at first I was like, lol, I make fun of myself all the time. I get it. And then it just got meaner and meaner and meaner as the years went by. And of course, I'm autistic. So like half the time I'm like, wait, do you really mean that? Oh, that like hurts for real, but like a lot. And then he's just like, it's just comedy. And it's like, well, comedy doesn't have to be so hurtful that I low-key can't sleep at night anymore. Like, how could you do that? And then he like turned out to just like be worse and worse. And then let's see what happened after. Yeah, and then I started to notice that in his comedy there was also a lot of like ableism and stuff, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to draw the line there, because he would say stuff like, call me like a Downsy baby, and it's like, don't know how I feel about that. That's not the vibe. And he'd be like, you ride the short bus? And it was actually kind of funny because it took me a minute to figure out what that meant.
Yes, we did. We're autistic. We did ride the short bus, you dick. Right? Whatever. Fuck off.
But then I realized, oh, wait, that was supposed to be an insult. Oh, I don't like this.
Best part is we had seatbelts on the short bus, you asshole.
Right? Because we're more dangerous than you. But now things are different. I'm the comedian in the relationship. My partner like isn't a stand-up comedian, but we're also on the spectrum, so I understand. Sometimes if a joke doesn't land, that's okay. I don't have to be mean about it. But we're able to just like bounce off each other's energy and stuff, and it's cute.
I'm not dating a comedian, but I told you my girlfriend, wife, whatever you want to call her, might as well be one. And
yeah.
I was like, you need to do new jokes. I've heard all your jokes already. You need to do something new. But finally I had to tell her, I said, look, if I was a rapper, you wouldn't tell me to start singing new songs every time I went to a fucking show. And she said, oh, you got a point? I said, thank you. Finally. Whatever. This isn't gonna bode well when we get off of this podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
You better go to the store buy some flowers real quick.
Fuck you, Ginger.
Just have some angry sex, man. Listen, let's just do that. it works.
We got solutions for your problems.
We
We
got
got you.
For your problems. Well, let me ask you. I mean, here's my thing. Has anybody seen the new? They got a new show on what is it? Netflix called Pleasure. Have any of you guys seen this yet? I'm the only one exploring
Nope.
my sexuality these days. Come on, what the fuck's up with you? Aren't you guys feminists? I'm the only one doing this. Anyway,
Netflix is
I don't
expensive,
even have
man.
Netflix.
wow,
Everyone just
Netflix-
assumes I do.
No, that's
God.
my white side coming out. That's my Malay privilege. Isn't that right, Juliana?
So good.
It's called. You know, it's a good laugh. She's so good. Her and Paul kill me with it. Paul does the same thing. Paul's like, ah. He's up there, didn't you, Dante? I got it. That was a joke. Good job. And I'm like, I just feel that good when you say it like that.
I'm very cerebral when it comes to laughs, actually. It's like, oh, it's such a good joke, but I don't laugh per se as a reaction. Yeah. So so that's why when people bring me to a comedy show, I say, bad idea. I'm not a laugher. I will be the one at the back. Ha 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 ha. Good joke. Like.
That's what I said. That must have been a good one because I got that. She was ha ha ha. I think that's funny. That's good. Yeah. Fuck. Thanks.
One of those laugh on the inside audience members.
So I see Doors watched it. One of our people tuning in, a great statuesque, great comedian out of Canada. And the reason why I said that is we watched it, and they hinted at it like once, I think, like once, maybe twice, but they barely said anything about disabled people getting pleasure. They said it like once, but maybe once or twice. But out of 4 episodes, they only talked about it like 2 or 3 times. Let's say 5 tops. Let's even give them 10. But out of 3 hours of a program focused on women, disabled women only got 10% of that. And I thought it was kind of just weird, not just that idea of it, but thank you, statuist. She said I was right. But it was just weird to not. They had trans women on there, but they didn't have any disabled women.
That's weird.
And my friend saying it's a forgotten subset.
The word
diversity. We need to get her on one of these damn episodes. She's got an opinion. But it was just weird for me to watch it and not see that representation. For them to go far is to say, like, they were even getting at the point that poor people need to have homeless people. But it was like, what about disabled people? What about handy able, however you want to say it, right? And I think that's one of the things that we try to attack that's different than everybody else is like, what do you like? I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what sex toys to get, and I'm a straight cis male and I should know how these work. What do you do? How do you get a sex toy when you don't have the regular appendages, or who do you have go buy one for you? Or do you know what I mean? And those are the things I don't think we're really hearing about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, first get a harness. That's one of the best things you get.
Get a harness.
And,
oh God.
Yeah. And that will lighten up the load. And then when it comes to sex toys, Google. Make sure you have some vouchers, or what do you guys have? Coupons. So have some dick toy coupons. You guys have. I think is it Target? They sell it down there, or in America. Then
No, we have a store called Lovers.
Lovers.
Oh, for Lovers. Okay, yeah. Over here we have Ann Summers. Okay, we have that. They're the cheaper ones. The more expensive Diamante toy things, they're too expensive, like about $10,000. You don't want to spend that much money just for some 5 minutes of pleasure. You don't want to. No, you'll cry. Your bank account will cry. Okay. Bank account will bail you out.
So I decided to get some lingerie, right? Be all sexy. And as they go,
is it linger or lingerie?
Lingerie. I call it lingerie.
Lingerie.
That's what I thought it was called too.
It's spelled lingerie.
It is.
That's like a spray. That's like lingering. Yeah, it
does. No. Let me tell you, that stain's still lingering on them panties. It was funny. I was like, why am I paying $30 for a pair of crotchless underwear? Like, I pay $3 for 6 pair of crotched underwear. You think these would, right? And then I just She's not. She's not impressed with me at all right now. And then like I asked her to stick things about
Ooh,
Legos.
you're gonna get some.
Like you said, we're gonna do lingerie and Legos. So we've done some lingerie. We fooled around a little bit. Can we do the Legos? And she's, but we're not done. I said, but I want to do Legos. Like I got promised Legos in this whole transaction. Where the fuck is Legos?
Mood.
That's a whole vibe. I'm mad at how Juliana's like, I could see that. I could see that. You said Legos and lingerie. Yeah, where are the Legos after half hour? But I think that's I don't know, it's just different to watch this whole show about pleasure. And it was just like just aimed at the fact that men do a shitty job of making sure women aren't pleasured. And I was like, no shit. What about the other people though? You know what I mean? Damn
Can I
it.
catch some clips on YouTube?
You guys don't even
Huh?
have nothing to say. Everybody's like, he's got a good point today. He's on a roll.
Yes, you're proper on point
Yes.
today.
Dante's
Big up,
getting it
Suitman.
today. Woo!
Mhm.
So here's my thing. Oh, thanks. So let me ask you, do you feel like it in Malaysia?
Yes.
She said yes. They said yes. You already know I'm going to ask pretty hard questions. Do you feel like the idea of being openly transgender or non-binary, all these new, not new because they're not new, but some of these new sexuality things that we're faced with on a day-to-day, are they really that embraced where you're at?
I will say not really. That means we have our own quiet community of queer people, but normally when we have to decide where we want, like what Janejira said, we have to know where to draw the line. Like, can I truly be myself, or do I have to like somewhat blend in, the kind of stuff? Just say that when people ask you like, oh, okay, you just say, okay lah, I'm female, the kind of stuff, rather than to assert and say, no, I'm non-binary, the kind of stuff. Because certain group of people, they know, but there will be a lot of people who don't know as well. Like, this thing to them is like, it's new lah. It's like it's in Malaysia, it's like it's new. And a lot of times they only know like gay and lesbian and maybe transgender, that's about it. But non-binary is, although non-binary is within the transgender category, transgender umbrella, but it's still something that is very hard to comprehend, yeah, in Malaysia.
Fuck.
So a lot of time we don't really like assert lah. That means for us it's like I don't really assert, and I pass off easily as a cis woman in Malaysia. Yeah, so sometimes I just have to do that just to be safe lah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be honest with you, when I didn't know you were non-binary at first, and then we had you on our show, right? And then I asked today, I said, which end of the spectrum were you born? And you said you
Yeah.
were born a girl. I didn't know. And then I felt bad because when I found out you're non-binary, I looked at you, I said, well, they could have came from the other side of the spectrum and be meeting in the middle. I didn't know. And then I felt embarrassed. I felt a little uncomfortable because I'd felt bad for calling you she and all these other things.
So
before,
don't be,
right?
don't worry.
No,
Yeah.
but you say that, right? But I'm mixed, right? Which is kind of I'm racially non-binary, right?
Yeah.
So people come up to me and all the time and they're like, you're Samoan, you're Mexican, and I'm like, no,
Somalian.
I'm fucking mixed, right? And they're like, okay. And then they're like, so you're Samoan. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, I just told you I was mixed. And so it's not the same fight, but it is.
Yeah.
You told me I'm not he or she, I'm they. Okay,
Yeah.
great. She's cute. No, motherfucker, I just told you I'm not he or she or they. I'm they. And then I'm going to say she. So it's,
Yeah.
and then, like I said, it's tough for me to ask these questions, but I got to. That's why we do the show, is so that people can get this perspective.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things I pause to have that moment with you and Janejira where you're talking about being the same thing from the same area, but you have a different experience of it. Her parents or her mom's clouded in her judgment about this thing, but trying to tell her, don't you see how this is wrong? And Janejira's like, no, I don't see anything wrong. What the fuck's wrong with you? Your parents just aren't talking to you about the shit. They're like,
Yes,
well,
yes.
all right.
Yeah, I think
Right?
in Malaysia, this is more common, whereby people just don't talk about it. So which is why,
correct.
like, even when it comes to like how I come to discover more of my gender identity, and also being on the spectrum, is mainly after I left home actually, because when I'm with my parents, we don't talk, the kind of stuff. So it's like we don't know anything, and I just live life, like when you watch. I mean, I recently started watching Matrix. 20 years late than average people, but it's still fine. I'm catching up. Yeah.
Yay.
So I watched and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's like everyone is like, you know that there's something that's off, but just that nobody talks about it. So it's like even when I came out as non-binary and all, and I went back to like some of the queer gatherings, only then I found out like some of my high school friends are there as well. And back in high school, we are all great actors, the kind of stuff. We never talk about it. Nobody knows of our sexual orientation, gender identity. And then until many years later when we show up at the same party, So it's funny. Yeah. And also
I heard what you said, because so in the
yeah,
Black community, it's the same thing. You're not allowed to be gay,
yeah.
right? And now it's a little better. But when I went to high school, when I went to college in the late '90s, early 2000s, you weren't allowed to be gay. And I went to a college called Morehouse College, which has all black college and all men. And so the rumor is, and the joke is there's a lot of gays there, right? Well, first semester, everybody was straight.
Yes.
Second semester, you'd see the guy hang out with certain people. You, oh, you're on that team. Okay, all right.
Got it.
You make it sound like jail. What the hell?
Yeah.
But it was because I mean, and it's not like I'm transphobic, I'm not gay phobic, any of those
Yeah,
things. But in the society of being in an all male school among guys and black men at that, there's a level of testosterone, pride, ego of who are you hanging out with?
Mm.
Why is this guy constantly buying me weed? Is he trying to hit on me? Or are we just friends? Right? I don't want to get my weed laced and wake up with a sore asshole. No, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? There's trash bags that are straight and trash bags that are gay, right? So, I'm sorry, I'm going to hell. I'm getting canceled today. So that's the thing. And so I hear all of that. It's just, this has been excellent. I want to have you on again. You've made me uncomfortably inquisitive. Okay?
Wow.
Do you have any other questions for Juliana? I think I've done a great job because I haven't got any more messages from Janejira. That's how I know I've done good this episode.
I like the fact, Dante, you were talking about I didn't know you went to an all boys school.
Oh fuck! Here we go.
Because I went to an all girls school called St. Martin's. I'm no saint, but there was a time. So between the year, what was it? So you in the 90s, I'm in 2000 and 2002 till 2000 and it's basically late noughties. I went to sixth form college as well, which is part of it. So yeah, there was a time where it was fashionable to be gay. Because they were using it. So there were some who were real gay, as in like gay, and there were some that were just fashionable. No lie, literally.
There was gay, and then there was, oh my god, bitch, what's up? But I want to fuck your
Their
friends
reason
again.
was stupid. Looking back, it was stupid, but it's hilarious. I understand, it's very emotional. Their reason for being lesbian was because I hate men. Simon hurt me. I want to be with Simone. Friggin' Jaden hurt me. I want to be with Jade. Like, it was just that kind of thing there. It was like,
I'm not gonna lie, that's the shit that happens to women. Guys don't go, Regina broke my heart, now it's time to start sucking dick. That's not how guys work.
Yes.
Could you imagine? Like, can you imagine your brothers just going like, hey man, like, she broke my heart. That's it. I don't want two legs. I don't want 3 holes. I want 2 holes, man. I want 3 legs.
Yeah.
We'll get Variety D canceled while we're here too. I saw the way Juliana went. That was tasteless. That was not. Juliana gave you a head nod, like, I don't think you should have said that. Anyways, I got some great news. While we've been on the show, everybody, start making some fucking noise. Audra's mom let her release a picture. The tubes are out. Her skin's better. The swelling's down. She's being She's eating. You know, when your mom starts cussing you out again, that's when you know things are going good. So everybody just wondering, Polite Kitty's mom's out the hospital and doing better.
Yay!
Give it up for our guest tonight. We had a great conversation with you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Give it up for Variety D. out of UK. They call it Variety D because it's a variety of D. And we give it up for the Bondage Bear and the Potato Chip. And
Yes.
give it up for me, your host, with the most, who needs a filter on his coffee and his mouth. Give it up for Suitman.
Suitman.
Yay.
Suitman.
Next Saturday, April 9th, 5 a.m. Pacific.
Oh.
Full of power time. I will be headlining a whole show of autists like myself. Juliana Heng is producing the show. It's called Comedy AU. It's an autistic comedian showcase. Best part is we do it on Zoom, and they're going to be watching it live in Malaysia at the Hush Theater. Your boys international now.
Yes.
Everybody performing in Malaysia next Saturday, 8 p.m. at the Hush Theater. I'm Suitman. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, remember, you ain't got to be rich. You ain't got to be normal. But we hope that you're getting off. Everybody deserves some pleasure. We love you here at Suitman Productions. You guys have a great day. Thank you.